Hello everyone. So today we are here to discuss about the UPSC Civil Service exam, the UPSC Civil Service exam, which is going to be conducted in 3 steps: the prelims, mains, and the interview. And the prelims is going to be held for next year, 2021, in the month of June. This is what has been given in the official notification of UPSC. Now, it's a holistic preparation of the prelims and the mains part. Interview, of course, you can always, but usually what we as aspirants, when we used to appear for the exam, we had done was that we first prepared ourselves for prelims and mains, and once we cracked mains, then we went for preparing ourselves for the interview. This is what an usual UPSC, CSE, previous candidate does. But then everyone has their own strategy. So now, today here we are going to discuss about the prelims part. I'll take up the mains some other day. So let's discuss. In prelims, the way I studied, so I'll go accordingly. The first is the ancient history. Then we have the modern Indian history. Then we have the medieval history. Then we have the modern Indian history. Then we have polity, and finally we will go for the environmental science and geography together. Okay, because these two are very much interrelated, and there are certain topics which are common to both of them. Finally, we will go for international relations and science and technology. Now, current affairs is always a part of all the three. I'll tell you how. When we study ancient, medieval, we will correspondingly study about the art and culture. Like we are studying about the Gupta period, so we will study about the art, architecture, literature, important books regarding the Gupta period. So in that way we will cover the art and culture part. And second thing is that the chronology is very important. In history, chronology is very important. Let me erase this, because usually questions are asked 2-3 dynasties or 2-3 names of persons will be given, or events. In case of modern Indian history, they will be given 2-3 events, and they will ask you to arrange it in chronological order. So we need to study in chronological order. Now I'll go individually into each subject and tell you about the division. Before that, let me discuss about the current affairs part. Now, with ancient Indian history, you might think that what about the current affairs part? What current affairs do we associate with ancient history? Now, the culture, you must have seen different magazines of different institutions who are giving coaching for the UPSC Civil Service. They come up with monthly magazines and PDFs. So there you have a section named culture, art and culture. So in that section, you can associate your ancient and medieval history with that part. For modern Indian history, what we have is that sometimes, like this year, right now, all those who are going to appear for prelims, Bal Gangadhar Tilak is very important, because this personality has been in news. Okay, so on the eve of his birth anniversary, and many a times on different occasions, in different speeches, many people have taken their name, so it becomes someone of utmost importance for this year's prelims. So every year these kind of 2-3 personalities, at max 4 personalities, are always in news, so you have to read about them in details. So that brings up the current affairs of the modern Indian history. Then we have to move on to the polity. Now for polity, what we have is that the articles in the constitution definitely is a part of the static portion. But in current affairs, like some judgments are given. Recently, the Sabrimala was in news, the Ayodhya case. So these kind of cases are like current trends which are being asked. So those articles have much more importance than all other articles which you are reading as a static subject. Okay, so that goes for polity. Then comes the, let me erase this. So then comes geography and environment. Now for geography and environment definitely you have lots of animals, mammals, birds who are endangered, critically endangered. So these kind of things are always in news. And second thing is geography. For geography, all the places which are in news is always important from the perspective of map finding, which is a very favorite area of UPSC to ask questions. So they'll give you 2-3 places. They'll just name a place. For example, Aleppo was in news very recently for past 1.5 year. Aleppo is in news. So it's in Syria. So they'll just give you a question. For example, like Aleppo recently seen in news has been associated or belongs to which of the following places. 4 options will be given. You just have to mark Syria. Now there are certain very important points or very favorite places of UPSC to ask question. Not the entire map is never important. You can always remember. You should have an overview that okay, this is the southern part, or this country comes, or this continent comes obviously in the northern part or southern part. That much overview I think is sufficient, or else only the places in news is important. The entire map is never important. Last is the international relations, which is obviously mostly the current part is asked, but sometimes in order to confuse you, they give 2-3 statements about some agreement that might have been signed before independence with a particular country. So these kind of questions are asked. In that case, you have to study some of the static parts, just limited portion, and rest current affairs. Now comes the science and technology. Science and technology, everyone says that okay, nowadays most of the people that have perception that UPSC asks only about the current affairs part, but sometimes they ask about the basic questions. If you go through the last 10 years or 15 years question, they have asked basic things also. For example, GSLV, PSLV, they have asked about it, what kind of fuel a particular rocket is using, in which stage. For example, BrahMos, so it's a 2-stage. Say the first stage is the solid and the second stage is the liquid propellant. So these kind of things you have to remember. And now another portion is there which I didn't mention earlier, but it is important. Now some of it consider it within the IR part, but basically it's a separate part if we deal with it in a more detailed manner. So it is the security part. So security part is very important. Here you have the military exercises, security, the military exercises. Then you have the recently launched vehicles or some recent developments by the DRDO or the NASA. Okay, and you have basically relation with the of this part, the security part, with the international relations. For example, the range of BrahMos missile was initially 390 something. I don't remember exactly, but it was in the range of the 300 something. So we were not part, or we were not agreeing to a particular treaty. Now once we signed it, so we have increased the range to 400 something kilometers. Okay, so these are the interconnections which are very important for your basic answering of the prelims exam. The questions are not tough at all. You can easily score, but the thing is that you have to connect the dots. You just can't read a subject separately. Like you are reading IR, so you're focused on IR, then you are focused on security. So this can't happen. When you are reading IR, in your mind it should come that okay, this part connects with this part of the security, or this agreement made this missile purchased, or something like that. Okay, this MOU has been signed. So these are the things which you will gradually know. And last but not the least, I take classes for UPSC Civil Service exam, both prelims and mains, and I have appeared for the exam myself several times, as well as WBCS exam. So I'm quite familiar with what kind of recent or current trends or questions are being asked. You can always contact me if you need any help, and usually my first class is a demo class, so it's always free. You can judge yourself whether you are in fine tuning with what I am teaching. And finally, I will keep uploading more and more videos about how to take preparation and how to go about with the prelims as well as the mains. So I'll go for details of each subject, like I'll break ancient history chronologically as I usually teach in my classes, and I'm available for online classes too. So till then, till the next video, thank you and have a nice day.